It's not ideal to be cut open.
Just moving back and forth like this. You like, what's going on down there?
Postpartum anxiety came and backhanded me, and I was like, whoa.
Take a day by day.
I love motherhood.
How your life just gets altered like that.
We gonna get this baby out of here.
Like you have to create and cultivate your village. You have to create and cultivate your social media.
Try to be clear. I'm not doing this no more.
I don't like it. I would want to do things with them, and just be among them.
Welcome to another episode of Autonomous Birth. Today I am joined by Jasmine, her given name. On Instagram, she's known as Unveiled Mama, how I found her. I'm not going to talk too much because I would like you to introduce yourself.
Okay.
I would like you to introduce yourself, why you connect to the mission or whatever you would like to, like why I told you to come on, like what do you connect with, and a fact about yourself that has nothing to do with motherhood.
Okay. Well, I am Jasmine. I am from Durham, North Carolina, but I live majority of my life in Cary, North Carolina. I am a first-time mom to my boy named Zayden. And I connect because it's very important for me to have people talk more about their experiences during birth, labor, and postpartum, especially as a Black woman. It's literally pushed under a rug a lot of times that we're not taken serious. So that's why I appreciate you reaching out to me to be able to like talk and let people know it's okay to talk. You don't have to hold it in or do things by yourself if you have the ability to reach out to somebody or have that village or circle. And a fun fact or something that's not related to motherhood. I'm a twin. I have a twin brother. And a lot of people may not know, but I'm a huge introvert. So home is where my heart is a lot of the times. It takes a lot to get me out of the house, but all of my friends are extroverts and you would see us and be like, how did they become friends with you? It's a lot. Yeah.
I feel like that's typically how it happens.
Yeah.
It's like, how did y'all even talk to each other? But, okay, so to start, can you tell me how did you feel when you learned that you were pregnant with your son?
To be honest, I didn't have a feeling. It was more of a shock. I was feeling like nauseous a lot of times, but I just kind of pushed it to the rug because when I got off birth control like a couple years ago, I would just have random nauseous spells. So I just kind of thought that's what that was until I was just like, okay, something's not right. Just go take a test. Took a test. That thing came back positive so quick. I literally paced back and forth in the bathroom, cussing up a storm like, this cannot be real. Absolutely not. No way. And my boyfriend was at work. So I had to literally wait for him to come back home to kind of tell him. So I had like a couple hours just to like, this is about to be reality. But other than that, I really didn't have much of feelings. It was just too much at once. I had to like, okay, I'm pregnant. What's next? Yeah.
So once you got over the initial shock, did the pregnancy go how you envisioned it to go?
That's another thing. I didn't have a vision of what my pregnancy was like. I'm more of just, I'm chill. I go with the flow. So I didn't put expectations on myself. I just wanted to, one, just make sure that I was okay, like health wise, and then do what I need to do to make sure my baby is growing healthy and to be able to come into the world healthy. So I didn't put expectations on myself. So my mind would be at least somewhat calm.
Okay. And so what did your pregnancy teach you about yourself and the people around you?
My pregnancy taught me that I'm tougher than what I thought I was. And the people around me, man, they love me down for real. Like especially my boyfriend, like postpartum was really rough. Not only did he have to take care of me, but he also had to make sure my son was okay as well as working a full-time job while I stayed at home. And then my parents and my friends, they were just really amazing. And that just opened my eyes up to them a little bit more as well.
And was there? Well, sorry, I'm a tangent girl. Um, were you the first mom in your friend group?
No, I have one friend that has 5.
Okay. And did she like I don't want to say I guess did she give you the lowdown, the scoop, the everything on what motherhood was when like when she learned you were pregnant?
Not really, because I mean, I was really involved in her life with her children, so I watched her. So we didn't really have like, or she didn't really tell me like, oh, don't do this, don't do that, because every child is different. She just kind of let me learn on my own. But if I had questions, then I can talk to and ask her.
Okay. What did you do during your pregnancy to prepare for motherhood? Like whether it be the pregnancy itself, postpartum, et cetera, et cetera.
During my pregnancy, I focused more on getting ready for labor, because that was my fear, especially as a Black person going into the hospital. You hear a lot of stories of like, they don't take your pain serious, or after a certain amount of hours, they rush you to do C-section or anything like that. So I was really into researching all different types of things. I prepared mentally more. So I did holding the ice for X, Y, and Z amount of seconds until I think I reached about 10 minutes that I can hold the ice, and practicing my breathing. I did a lot of walks. I did um, stretches. I did birthing ball exercises. So that kind of just helped me stay in tune of, all right, when labor hits, you got this, you're okay. So that kind of was where my focus was.
And so on the topic of labor, can you tell me about your birthing team? Like how did you find your OBGYN? How did they treat you throughout your pregnancy? Like if you felt heard and validated and all those things.
Yeah, so I found my OBGYN through a Google search, and I was very particular about who I wanted. I wanted someone that looked like me, to be able to talk, and like if I have questions, you take me serious. And our first meeting, I'm a very straightforward person, so I expect you to kind of do your not kind of do your job, but like if I have questions, I'm not leaving the office until I feel satisfied with the answers that you gave me. So that's how I kind of found them. And labor, my hospital staff, they were amazing. They were great. I also had my midwife. Her name is Chelsea, and she was right there beside me every step of the way. So knowing that I had her beside me, as well as my mom and my boyfriend, I wasn't stressed. Like, I know if I can't talk, they already know what to say for me. So they were my backbone for sure.
So I've heard of midwives working alongside OBGYNs, but never like a personal account. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Like what did that look like? Having both of them.
So for my OBGYN, it was more in office, like my appointments per se. I didn't have them in my room with me. My midwife, I wanted her in the room with me because I can select. I think we only could have like 3 people in the room, so I was able to choose who I had in the room. So my midwife, I know I wanted her in the room with me. So outside of like my OBGYN offices, I would message my midwife and talk to her if I had like out after hour questions.
Okay. And so what was your favorite part of your pregnancy? And what was the biggest shock in your pregnancy?
Favorite? There won't no favorite. To me, there won't no favorite. I was nauseous. I was in pain. My body was hurting. It was no favorite. The shock though, labor was a shock for sure. It was a shock. But I did it, but it was a shock. A lot of people say, "Oh, you won't remember." Who won't remember? I remember the pain. I remember everything.
Yeah, that's not forgettable. Like, but
It's
okay.
not.
So on the topic of labor, how did you realize that you were in labor? Just the birth story in general.
Okay. Yeah, so my son actually came on his actual due date. So that day we went to the OBGYN, and then they did like the check and everything. I think a couple weeks, I think maybe I don't remember the week. The weeks before they do like the final check, I did do a membrane sweep because I was already like 3 centimeters around 8 months. And I was like, when they first told me that, I was like, 3 centimeters. That maybe will explain the cramps that I've been having, like OD. So they talked to me about the membrane sweep. I talked to my midwife about it. So I gave it a try. Yeah, that didn't really work. That just brought on cramps. And then at my 40-week checkup, I was like 4 centimeters. And they was like, well, do you want to do another membrane sweep? I was like, nope, I don't, because I thought that would have at least sped up the process a little bit. I just went from 3 centimeters to 4 centimeters. And then so I was already angry and mad because when I say my body was like hurting on 10, I'm not sleeping well. My stomach was I was literally like all stomach. So my stomach was so hard. Every movement that my son made, it hurt. So I was completely over it. So I was upset that whole day. Got some food, got home, took a nap. Around 5 o'clock, 5:30, it was go time. I woke up my boyfriend. I'm over the bed just, oh, like, bro, this is it. He called my mom, dad, and my midwife was like, it's go time. So we drove to the hospital. By the time I got to the hospital, I was already 7 centimeters. And then you got to go to, was it, where they asked all them questions. And by the time I got into the room, like, blood just fell on the floor. I was scared of that because I was like, what is this? Is it okay? Am I okay? Is my baby okay? They was like, no, you're okay. It's part of your labor or whatever. So then by the time I literally got into the room to like deliver, it was around maybe 8:30. My baby was out by 9:30. Yeah, I did maybe 4 or 5 pushes and he was out. No epidural. I did have laughing gas and that back pain and booty pain that they don't tell you about. Yeah, that was OD.
It's like, what is this? And why does my ass feel like that? But how did the laughing gas feel? Like, if you remember, how did it affect you?
it it puts you in a calm state, kind of, so like a woozy type of state. And I just did it. I just breathed in during my contractions to kind of ease the pain. But yeah, it was just like a woozy high type of feeling.
Okay. And I'm gonna go back. I know, but you said something that sparked a question. Because you mentioned how much pain you were in when you were pregnant, and like, you know, were you working up until you were you working during your pregnancy in general?
The whole time.
Okay.
Yeah, the whole time.
How, all right. I was asking because obviously I just feel like maternity leave should not start when I baby. Like this baby's kicking my eight double snakes. I need to be off like at least a month in advance. Um. So okay, but also like, how did you navigate? If you were able to even navigate it, how did you navigate the pain throughout the pregnancy?
I got a lot of massages. I had very bad back pain because I have a bulging disc in my back from a car accident. So on top of that, and then being pregnant, it was a lot of sciatica pain. So my boyfriend was massaging me a lot, especially in like my hips, my lower back. I did do a couple of pregnancy massages, but I didn't like laying on my side because I just made it worse. And other than that, I laid down a lot just to kind of ease the pain. Because by the third trimester, just sitting up on a regular basis was uncomfortable. It hurt. So I had to lay down to eat. I had to lay down to watch TV. I even laid down in the car. I know that's not safe, but I have to be somewhere. I'm going to go in the back, lay down, put a seatbelt on, and we just going to pray we get there safely and no one hit us because it was that bad. And I was tiny. So literally carrying all stomach, I gained like 60 pounds. Yeah.
So, given the experience that you had with your first pregnancy, would you want to have another child?
Fine. A lot of people ask me that now, and in the beginning, I would say absolutely not, just because postpartum was he double hockey stick. It was terrible. I am glad to have overcome it a little bit to be here today because there was points that I'd rather just vanish completely and pray my baby's okay and safe because I don't want to do this anymore. But I now with the mindset I'm in, it's like a 3.5 out of 10. Uh, okay, maybe possibly because I feel like I missed my son's infancy months because I was literally just floating. I was there, but if I didn't have the pictures that I have, the videos I have, I would not have remembered. So I feel like I missed out on that. Now he's one and he don't sit down. He's wild. He's my wild child. Yeah. So I feel like I missed out on the cute little snuggles and the all that stuff that a lot of people cherish. To me, I feel like I missed it. So I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe do
Um,
that in like 7 years from now. I don't know.
at that point, you can be like, I don't want to do this
Yeah.
again. I'm sleeping through the night. Like that's a whole adult once they get to that. Like he
Mhm.
taking himself. Um. Okay. Oh, all right. So, what did you feel the first time that you saw your son? Like after you gave birth?
That's another thing. I when he came to the world, the people, my mom, my boyfriend, and my midwife, I literally was out of it. I didn't do the skin to skin. My boyfriend did the skin to skin. Even with the first latch, my midwife put me on my boob. I didn't even hold him. I didn't do anything because I was just exhausted. I was shivering. They were trying to bring my body temperature back to a normal state. I probably didn't hold my son until we got to the recovery room. And then I was just looking at him like, yeah, this is my baby, but I don't feel anything. I don't feel the happiness like how you see on social media. People are happy, they're crying, they're like, oh, this is my baby. Thank you. I didn't feel none of that. I was just staring at my son like, why do I not feel the happiness? Why do I not feel this glorious connection that I'm supposed to feel? But later to come to find out, it's called delayed bonding. So that's what I had. And I had that for a good couple of months. My son was bonded to me, but I literally had to grow that bond on top of postpartum. So I personally didn't bond with my son until he was maybe like 5 or 6 months.
So obviously, at this stage, you know what it is and you have a name for it. But when you are going through it, like when moving through the day and taking care of the baby, like what did that look like for you?
It looked like I was just doing what I was supposed to do. I was doing mommy duties, not necessarily understanding what I was doing. I was just doing it. Like, my baby got to eat. My baby's diapers need to be changed. My baby crying. Let me go get him. Let me do this. Let me do that. But my mind is just blank. I'm literally just doing what I'm supposed to do. My partner, he's making sure I'm okay. He's taking care of the baby when he can. Because another thing, my son, he did not give people the time of day. Like, you literally had maybe 5 minutes to hold him before he wanted me. And that was also with my boyfriend as well. So he was on a time limit. Time limit. Grandparents was on a time limit. Friends and family were just on a time limit. He just wanted me. And he was taking bottles for like the first 2 months, but then he just had like this strong latch and suck that he would just constantly choke. So we talked to his doctors about it, and we've tried so many different bottles. Bottles are not expensive. I mean, not cheap to just keep buying, even though people were buying them for us as well. It's like, yeah, we're not going to keep seeing our son choke on milk from a bottle. So that's how I became exclusively breastfed. And that was just an added task on top of everything else I had to do. Now I'm the only one that can feed him. So I was literally just floating, doing what I was supposed to do, not even understanding how I'm doing it.
So, did you feel like you could speak to your boyfriend or your parents about it?
Oh, absolutely. My boyfriend, he knew so much before I even told my own parents or even told my friends, but he would even look at me and be like, "What's wrong?" But I couldn't explain to him what was wrong. I was like, I was safe in my home. I was safe with my boyfriend. Like, I literally love him so much because he stayed 10 toes behind me during my postpartum that most people, they would just unfortunately leave or be like, I don't understand. I can't do this. No, he tried his best to understand the best way that he can or the best way that I can explain it. My parents, they knew, or yeah, they knew because they would say, I can see it in your eyes. You don't have to say anything. I think there was even one time we were all together and I was just talking, vibing out. And then next thing I know, I just shut down. My parents looked at each other. My dad looked at me and he was just like, your eyes. I can see it in your eyes that something's not right. And then that's kind of when I elaborated a little bit more of like what I've been going through. And ever since I told them, they were on it as well because this is their baby girl. She's going through something that my mom may understand, but every woman's postpartum is different. And my dad, he wants to solve it, fix it. Well, I can't help my baby girl. I can't do this. So they were trying their best to be as supportive as they can on a mom and dad side. And then my boyfriend was being as supportive as he could on a boyfriend side to understand it all. So yeah.
How did you come out of that? Was it steps that you took on your own? Was it like you just snapped out of it, for lack of better terms?
I'm still in it. It's just not as bad as it was in the beginning. Like, there's days that I can tell my boyfriend I'm clocking out. I can feel myself clocking out. So I'll go upstairs, take a nap, or go for a walk. During the heaviness of the postpartum, I realized something had to change. And only a few people know this story. Few meaning my mom, dad, my uncle, and my cousins, where I was at my weakest point, and the devil was just trying it in a way, like it was on me heavy. But okay, I can fight that. I can brush that off. But when you come for my baby, that's a different story. So that was a long fight. And my uncle saved me from visiting him because he's a pastor, praying over me, giving me some oil to place over me, my baby, and the things that were going on in the house. And I was like, yeah, you're not getting my baby. So I have to come out stronger because he can't fight for himself. I have to fight for him. His daddy has to fight for him. So once that was kind of prayed over, talked about, I was like, I have to do something. So I just I let it run its course. I didn't do anything crazy. I know a lot of people was like, well, go to a therapist. I was done talking. I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to do medication because I was breastfeeding and they couldn't really give me a lot of information on, does it pass through my milk to my baby? So they really, because it was a new drug at the time, and it was like, I'm not taking that. So I just let it run its course. I did a lot of praying. I did a lot of writing. And I just talked to my boyfriend and my friends, Amaya and Katrina. And they were just there every step of the way. So that kind of helped me, just having them three there.
Okay. And you just said a lot of writing.
Mhm.
I'm assuming journaling
Mhm.
type situation. Um, it's like a two-parter. So like, what made you get into that, and how did that like? I know you mentioned basically writing journal prompts in your packages. Like, is that what prompted you to do that for the ladies?
The journaling actually came and turned into my blog. So I would write down like how my reactions to pregnancy, how everything was the first, second, third trimester, how my birthing was, and really just talked about things that I personally wasn't even aware of. So like delayed bonding, postpartum anxiety, depression, rage. So just talking about that and just writing that, and it was like, maybe what I'm writing, I can just type it out and publish it, so other moms don't feel like something's wrong with them. No, you're going through what you're supposed to go through. And it's okay that you're going through that. You're not the only person. So that's kind of what made me, let me just take this off paper and write it, because I want other people to know that there's other people out here that go through that. So that's kind of what got me into that.
Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, my son
It's fine.
acts like his father doesn't live here and he can go ask him things. Um, I forgot what I was saying. Okay. So, you mentioned being doing exclusive breastfeeding,
Mhm.
um, which is like it's a job. I mean, I don't know how else to put. Already being in that mindset, and it's like I have to do this. How did you stick with it? Like, because speaking from experience, I know it's easy to be like, I can't do this no more. Um, so how did you stick with that?
I had no choice because my son wasn't taking bottles. He can't get formula. There's no way for me to give him formula if I wanted to stop breastfeeding, because he's not taking a bottle. A lot of people be like, oh, well, just leave your house and let your baby cry. And at one point, he's going to take it because he's hungry. Who? Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. So I just did it. This is what I got to do to make sure my baby's getting what he needs supplemental wise, because he's not taking bottles. The only other way is breastfeeding. So I just stuck it out to make sure my son is getting what he needs to get. And a year later, he's still on my boob. And now it's like, okay, you're hungry, come hop on the boob. It's fine. I'm accustomed to it. I'm used to it now.
Did you have much guidance when it came to breastfeeding? Like, were you familiar with it? Did you have a good lactation call? Sorry, I do weird things. A lactation consultant.
Uh, I wouldn't say I knew a lot about it, just because I may be the first, and I could be wrong, but from my immediate family, their milk didn't come in, or their child didn't latch. So they did formula or whatever else they had to do. So my knowledge came from my lactation consultant. Even though during my appointments, I zoned out completely. I don't even remember half the stuff that she said, but my boyfriend was there. So whenever I was mentally aware again, he'll be like, okay, well, this is what she said, do X, Y, and Z. Do you want a pillow? He'll research all different types of pillows for me and bought me whatever pillow I wanted to make sure that I'm comfortable. So yeah.
Okay, we got to talk about this boyfriend. So, sounds amazing. Does he? So he sounds like he was emotionally intelligent. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. He sounds very emotionally intelligent. Was he like? Did he have siblings or anybody who had been through this, or was it just he stepped right into the role? And by been through
He has,
this, I meant pregnancy and motherhood.
he has two brothers that have their own child as well. So, and he was involved in their lives as well. But us, this being our first child, we're learning as we go. And he is, you're right, very emotionally intelligent. He's very a caring person. If he doesn't understand, he'll try to understand, or he'll just, okay, well, what are you feeling? Whether he understands it or not, he just wants me to talk about it. So he was there. We're learning together. So yeah.
So going through that, technically, and yes, you're still very much in postpartum. Like it has been 2 years. What did you learn about him? Learn about yourself and your guys' relationship? Like, how did it change? I mean, you've given us some hints, but like, I'm explicitly asking this time. Like, how did it change?
Before us even having a kid, like our relationship is very chilled. We're like two very chilled people. So that didn't change much. He's more calmer than I am. He's more relaxed than I am. He's more of a go with the flow type of person. So bringing on a child, the chaoticness, it was rougher for me than for him. And so I don't think our relationship changed. It changed in a better way, a more positive way. Like I solely had to rely on this man to make sure I'm okay, make sure our son's okay, on top of keeping a roof over our head, on top of us making sure we had food on the table, because I didn't take maternity leave until my son popped out. I was like, we're gonna wait. So that was 3 months of not working. I mean, I had FMLA, but you know that they tax that. So yeah, so our relationship changed in a good way. And even during postpartum, he could have left because I had my very mean days. I said very hurtful things, and he didn't take it to heart because he would say, that's not you talking, that's your postpartum talking. And he will let me know if I said some things hurtful, but he'll also understand, babe, that's not you. So I'm not giving you some grace, but I'm understanding that you're angry. There's so much things that you're going through that I don't know. So yeah.
And when I ask this question, I don't mean like specific. So I don't think many people are aware of postpartum rage. I feel like I didn't, I am. So can you tell us what that looks like a little bit? Like what would be a trigger, I guess to say, or what would the action look like?
Hmm. I was also unaware of what postpartum rage was. I didn't even know that was a thing. I've just heard of baby blues and postpartum depression. So looking back, I had postpartum rage for a while, but couldn't understand, why am I feeling so angry at everything? It's just stirring up inside. And it's like, I'm so angry, but not in a way like I'm going to hurt myself or hurt my baby. I'm just angry because I know I got to be here for my son, because he only give people 5 minutes out his time. So somebody got to be there to comfort him and do all this stuff. So my postpartum rage, again, it just stirred up. And then it's just one day I just was like, babe, I got to go. I got to scream. I got to do something. So it just one day, a calm day, my son's with my dad. They're watching TV. I just come downstairs, and it's just, I grabbed a plate and just threw it against the wall. I got to fix the wall now, but I was just angry. Glass shattered everywhere in the kitchen. I just go upstairs, slam the door, and just cry and go to sleep. So I don't know what triggered it, or I probably do know. Being the person that has to do everything, what I mean by that is breastfeeding. It's exhausting, completely exhausting. My son was sleeping with us in our room, but he wouldn't sleep for more than 2-3 hours out the night. So on a whole night, I'm only getting 3 to 4 hours of sleep. And that's constant. I'm not even reaching 8 hours. So I'm mentally exhausted, physically exhausted, On top of breastfeeding, that's like you're running 7 miles a day. So your body's producing milk, you're burning calories, you're making sure you're having to eat, you're having to do this, you're having to do that. So that's probably what slowly was building up. It's like, dog, bro, I'm tired, but I have to breastfeed. He's feeding constantly. So yeah.
Okay. And so sorry. Um was it, like with a kid comes boundaries basically. Was it hard for you to enforce those boundaries with your village?
No,
I love when people
because
say no really quick. But proceed, I'm sorry.
no, because my village, they know how I am. I'm a very straightforward type of person. And please respect what I say and what I ask, especially as a first time mom. I hate unsolicited advice. Even though I'm a first time mom and it could mean well, but let me figure it out first. Let us figure it out first. We didn't ask for what you did with your child or what you think we should do with our child. So I didn't really have to do too much. I let it be known and then they respected it. So yeah.
And so like with him, wanting you all the time, what did your support look like? And how did you get a break? If you got a break.
The support for me, they just made sure I was okay to some degree. And really they just made sure I ate. On top of breastfeeding, it's a lot. So my friend, even before we got home from the hospital the very first day, she had groceries delivered of all of my favorite snacks. And just making sure I was fed, making sure that I was okay. And then break wise, yeah, no, I didn't get a break. I'm just now able to get a break, like physically sit down for maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours. And he's one. So yeah.
You just said something. Dang it. I knew this was going to happen. I hate when this happens. Hold on. Give me 1 second. It's literally the mom brain reel. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, no. Okay. Whatever. It'll come to me randomly. So I was trying again. It's not working. Um, what do your breaks look like now?
Okay.
Like,
My breaks look like now is during his naps now. I can sit down for a max of 2 hours and just kick my feet up, relax, read a book, eat without somebody calling on me. Um, or on Sundays, which my boyfriend and I implemented this maybe when he was like 6 months old or so. I could be wrong, but somewhere around that time. Sundays are my days. My son's with my father, not my father, his father, and I get to lay in bed. He can bring our son to feed because clearly he has to get breast milk, and the snacks and food is already, hey babe, everything's in the refrigerator. I'm gonna be upstairs for like however long I want to be upstairs until I'm like, I want to go bother my man and my son, so I'm gonna come down now. So yeah, Sundays are my rest days. I do nothing, and or when he naps, I just sit in silence.
never knew how great silence was until I had children. Because peace and quiet is just amazing. Like, nobody talk to me. Thanks. You mentioned your friends ordering groceries for you. What has or how has your platonic relationship changed as well? Have they like evolved in a different way? And, yeah.
Mm. No, I feel like they're the same. With my friends, I'm very picky of who's in my circle. So I'm really big on quality over quantity. So I only have 3 friends and I just gained another one. So I only have 4 friends and I trust each one of them and know that if I need something, they got me and vice versa. But Amaya, that's my friend that ordered the groceries and would still order groceries now. She's the godmother of our child. And my best friend too. I mean, my best friend, she has no title. She can be whatever she wants because that's my best friend. So she's also the godmom, she would say, and the auntie and whatever else. But those two really held it down for me, for sure.
Okay, I think I remember what I wanted to ask. So earlier, earlier in our conversation, you mentioned there would be times where you were just, your boyfriend would ask you like, "What's wrong? What do you need?" and you could not verbalize it. Do you feel like you've reached a point where you can now verbalize what you're feeling or what you may need from him to alleviate that feeling in the moment?
Yes, a lot of times I don't want to say our key word, but it's a key word that I say is I'm about to clock out, or I feel myself clocking out, which means I need a break before I go crazy in the head, or I'm just exhausted. So you got it. I'll be back. Or I just disappear. If he knows I disappear without saying anything, all right, mama needs a break. Come on, son. We're gonna go outside. We're gonna go read a book. We're gonna go play with your toys, do something. Because our son loves to be outside. So if I want total peace, he takes them outside.
Um, I do want to talk about Unveiled Mama a little bit. Um, well, tell me I know how it started in the sense of like what made you start it, but like how did it bloom into what it is now? And share your mission as well, but a little bit on that.
Um, it was just one day. It just came to my ideas, and I just spent months just writing, um, typing, and just getting everything in order. Because to me, I was like, it's gonna reach the right mama one day. She's gonna read this and be like, man, that was me too, and I appreciate that. That's what my vision is, and the mission is just whether you're a first time mom or a mom of 3 and you go through postpartum, because every postpartum is different, especially for the first time moms. I'm in your corner, whether it's you can send me an email, or if it's so serious and you live near me, let me know. I'll come. Like, the mission is just for other moms to be seen and know that they're not crazy. They have this support, whether it's through digital products. You like to journal, you like to read. I created my first ebook of telling my story of postpartum, not sugarcoating anything. So if you don't mind cuss words and okay with like reading the realness of it, that's why I created, so other people can read and understand. Not even just women, men I've had read the ebook because their wives or girlfriends are pregnant. It was like, dang, thank you, because now I can have a heads up of, okay, this may be what this is, or this may be what this is, and I can move a little bit different. So I've had people say thank you for the book. So that's what it is. That's just overall what the Unveiled Mama is.
And how do you, I don't like the word balance because I feel like there is no balance. How do you navigate being a mother and making content and the digital products? Like, how do you find the time?
During his naps or when I disappear, I'll tell my boyfriend, hey, I really want to work on this for like an hour, 2 hours. Okay, that's fine. Or bedtime. Even though I need to be asleep, I got to get this done. I want to check this off my to-do list. So it's a balance, but I don't put it above anything else. Whenever I find the time, I find the time because I still don't want to miss the years now with my son now that I'm mentally able to kind of enjoy it and not be in the fog.
So, like, what are you doing to find yourself? I don't want to say again because you're not the same Jasmine you were prior to the baby, but like, what are you doing to find who you are now and still have a sense of self?
I'm still finding me. I'm slowly going back to things that I enjoy doing. The only difference is I have to bring my son because he's breastfeeding still. Not enough to be fully off of a sippy cup. He's doing a sippy cup now, but he still won't take it enough to be like, okay, 8 ounces of milk out your sippy cup. Nah. So I'm finding myself in doing things that I love to do, whether that's being outside, going for a drive, going to a friend's house just to chill out and drink a glass of wine, or reading a book. And whatever I do, either I'm doing it by myself or I'm taking my son along with me for memories. I don't let me being a mother stop me from eventually getting back to my full self.
Is there anything else you wanted to share regarding your postpartum journey that we did not touch on?
Not really. I mean, we talked about delayed bonding, we talked about postpartum rage. Postpartum depression is another thing. It's very silent, it's very quiet. And I had postpartum depression too. My postpartum started off as the baby blues.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, I mean, if that lasts a little bit longer, then it goes into depression, anxiety, postpartum rage. I had all of them and different stages, but not aware that, oh, okay, this is what this is, or, oh, okay, that's what that is. I was literally just days I'll just cry, days I want to be left alone, days I don't want to talk to nobody. Don't even touch me. I'm already out touched because of my son. Days of just complete anger, days of, babe, I can't do this anymore at all. One day I literally opened up to my mom and I was okay. I was fine. She was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. But then when she turned around, I just said, Ma. And I just broke down crying. And she held me like a mama hug, a hold. And we just talked. So it's okay to let your emotions, don't hold it in. Because I feel like holding it in makes it worse. Because you need an outlet. Whether you go throw something safely or just journal, write, or read. And I'm a reader, so that's why I created an ebook, because I like to read. Maybe someone else likes to read. Or my products, their affirmations, their audio messages from me that I've created for moms. If you like to listen, journal, like, it's just all different types of things that I wish I had then. So now I create it now. So yeah.
You just said something about being outtouched. I don't think that's the word. Is that the word? I don't know. Also didn't know that was a thing before I had a kid, but it's very real. Um, just to the other mothers or expecting mothers. Because somebody wants you all the time and it's on you. And just like, if I get touched again, I'm gonna scream. Like, I can't take it anymore. Um, but yeah, that's a real thing. Okay. You mentioned a few of your products, but you also have the box. Can you tell us a little bit about the postpartum box that you send to mothers? I think you told me, but I don't think you told the listeners.
Oh, the SOS postpartum digital box.
Mhm.
That's a freebie, really, and it's just kind of like an introduction of what my other products are. So I have the SOS digital box. That's a freebie, and that's just a nine. It's not just. It includes a 90-second just a reset. So it's me talking to them and encouraging them and like just speaking positivity in their life, but then also a breathing exercise. Sometimes just sit down, find a quiet spot, or just do it before you go to bed. We'll do a breathing exercise. Breathe it in, breathe out. Calm your mind and just relax if you can. Just relax. So that's a 90-second of that. Then there's a letter I wrote to moms, and then there's like a little affirmation. It's just something to bring positivity, reset. So that's what the 90-second letter and the affirmation is in the postpartum box. And then all my other products are like my ebooks, when it's too much, when it's all too loud. It's like it depends on where you are in your journey.
And so, what is the biggest lesson you've learned throughout your motherhood journey that you would like to share?
The biggest lesson for me is relying on other people. It's okay to rely on other people. Me personally, I rather do it myself, or I'll get through it. I ain't gotta express myself, or I'll figure it out. If you have the support, whether it's a friend or a stranger, just somebody to talk to, sometimes that's what you need to keep going in life. So that was for me the biggest lesson, is relying on other people. It's okay to not be strong when you're feeling absolutely weak. Be weak, cry, be angry, because your body just went through a whole lot. 9 months and then labor. It's a lot. There's a lot of emotions, a lot of hormones that are trying to fluctuate. And some moms, they deliver the baby and have to go right back to work. Or they deliver a baby and then have two more at home. It's a lot. So relying on people and just giving myself grace is I would say the two biggest that I've had to learn as being a mom.
And what is your piece of advice? I usually tailor to the person I'm talking to. What would be a piece of advice that you have for mothers that are struggling in their postpartum journey?
The first thing that popped in my head, because again, I'm a straightforward type of person, is one, give yourself grace. Two, allow yourself to feel everything that you're feeling. I don't want to say no. I am going to say if you can safely go through it, whether that is talking to a therapist or getting something to help you cope and stay here, present, whether that's medication, something. It's okay. Don't let no one tell you, oh, don't do that, or don't talk to them. That what they gonna tell you. They're gonna just try to give this to you. Do do what you need to do. Do what you want to do, because it's important that you do what you want to do to be there for yourself, number one, and for the baby that you just gracefully birthed.
Okay. So thank you for joining me, Jasmine. Before I do my little sign off, are there any last words sound so not right? Is there anything else that you would like to say before we close everything out?
Um, hmm. just to all the moms out there, y'all are so strong. We're so strong. Don't let anyone ever, I don't know if belittle is the right word, but that's the word that popped in my head. Belittle what you've done, what you've overcome, because they don't know really internally what you're overcoming. So you guys got this. And I'm very proud of you if no one else has ever said it. So yeah.
Okay. And I'm very proud of you if nobody thank you for sharing your story. I'm glad to hear that things are better. Thank you for joining me. Listeners, I guess I should be talking to y'all at this point. Thank you for listening. Please follow Jasmine on Instagram at Unveiled Mama. I believe you have a TikTok too. I'm going to link everything in the description, as well as her blog and her products. If you're not pregnant, you know somebody that's pregnant, or you know somebody that knows somebody that's pregnant. So send it to them, or just share it on your page, and they'll find who it needs to find. But thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe to YouTube. Listen to the podcast on Spotify and Apple. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok, and have a blessed day.